Hello, this is QTV News and I am Mamudu Gajaga. We are coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue. Thank you for joining us. And now here are the main local news, international and sport news headlines. The Ministry of Gender, in partnership with the ECOWAS Commission and other human rights advocacy partners, on Thursday organized a meeting of ministers and experts responsible for child protection in West Africa. Stakeholders on Friday launched a $7.9 million US 5-year program aimed at promoting rights and justice in the Gambia for the media and the legal profession. Following the award of a grant to the UTG by the American University to promote the study of forensic entomology, the University of the Gambia on Wednesday hosted a public lecture on using insects to solve crimes. A team of Spanish surgeons were at the Canifing General Hospital for a week-long free surgery for 50 patients with various skin conditions. In international news, the Gambia delegation that is at the global platform GP 2022 in Bali, Indonesia, held a meeting with the regional director of the United Nations Disaster Risk Reduction for Africa. Those were the main news headlines, and now the news in detail. Thank you very much for joining us. This is QTV News. The Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, in partnership with the ECOWAS Commission and other human rights advocacy partners, on Thursday organized a meeting of ministers and experts responsible for child protection in West Africa. More in this report by Ajivento Drama.
Other partners in this high-level meeting include the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, the National Human Rights Commission and the ECOWAS Gender and Development Center. The meeting brought together the beneficiary countries covered by the project to support children victims of human rights violation, PAPEV, to provide sustainable solutions that will enable members to strengthen commitment to the cause of protecting children's rights. Aliou Badara Diouf, the Vice President of the Gambia, says the government has come up with new child protection strategies for the acceleration and promotion of child rights.
It's important for regional coordination, it's important for regional planning, it's important for regional responsiveness and receptiveness to the welfare of children. Together, there's strength and there's unity. And together, one country cannot do it, together we can do it. Because if the Gambia does it and the children move across the border and Mali or Senegal or Guinea-Bissau or Guinea-Conakry doesn't do it, then the purpose is defeated.
Andre Ori, representative for West Africa Regional Office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, says the meeting allows members to have an updated action plan on the efforts needed to fight exploitation and violence that children suffer in the West African region, especially those in transitional mobility who are victims of trafficking and other abuses.
It's one of the responsibility of the member states in the ECOWAS to look after their children and ensure that the children's rights are fully protected and fulfilled. Mechanism in place in terms of institutions, legal reforms, and mechanism like the Minister of Social Affairs and the Protection of Children to ensure that children, they are not roaming on the streets and they are the victims of abuses and the human rights violations.
Fatou Kinte, the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, had this to say.
Child protection is a priority and is recognized as a cross-cutting concern. The prevention and reduction of all forms of violence, abuse and exploitation should continue to be at the heart of our government's plans and implemented at all levels. We need to mobilize and organize the youth as a force for change. We need to ensure that our legal instruments provide the framework for achieving full rights and protection for children and have the desired impact at all levels.
Dr. Siga Fatima Jain, Commissioner for Social Affairs and Gender at the ECOWAS Commission, employs actors and families to support member states in the cause of protecting children.
Even in times of peace, children are not spared. It is therefore critical for us to find innovative ways, and this word innovative is very important, We can't do business as usual. We have to find new ways to address the growing incidence of child rights abuses and violations in West Africa.
Safeguarding the rights of children is important to protect children from any form of abuse and maltreatment, ensuring they have the best outcomes and are provided with safe and effective care, and that they are able to grow and develop happily and healthily without the risk of abuse or neglect. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
Aimed at promoting rights and justice in the Gambia. The $7.9 million program is funded by the United States government. Aliou Cissé has more.
Promoting rights and justice in the Gambia is a 5-year human rights support mechanism program co-implemented by Freedom House and the American Bar Association's Rule of Law Initiative. It is funded by the U.S. government through the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. The program seeks, among other things, to improve institutional capabilities within the judicial sector, empower civil society organizations to safely and effectively exercise civic and political rights, and help professionalize media entities engaged in ethical reporting and promoting policy-based dialogue. Giving an overview of the program, Elise Sindayigaya, Chief of Party Promoting Rights and Justice Activity, further explains that, among other things, there will be the support to judiciary to pilot automation of court reporting and training of judges, court staff, lawyers, and legal service providers.
PRJ projects will help solidify and accelerate democratic transition in the Gambia by supporting the justice sector and civil society, and therefore contribute to the needed response to evident thirst of justice and accountability.
John Charles Njai, Chairperson of Tango, and Justice Hassan B. Jallo, Chief Justice of the Gambia, respectively, commend partners for choosing to support the Gambia in its transitional justice journey. They are hopeful that the program will yield positive outcomes for the country's democratization process.
The judiciary of the Gambia is strongly committed to the promotion and protection of human rights and to the delivery of quality justice, and firmly welcomes this USAID project.
Civil society stands willing and ready to work with you, work with the government of the Gambia to ensure that your aims and aspirations are achieved.
The United States government had and continues to be a key ally to the Gambia's development and transitional justice crusade. The launch of the program, according to Sharon Cromer, U.S. Ambassador to the Gambia, is a testament to the assassin. She renews the U.S. government's support to the Gambia in implementing the government's white paper on the TRRC recommendations to safeguard against the occurrence of the past atrocities.
We urge transparent and inclusive implementation of the recommendations, including broad legislative reforms, the standing up of a special prosecutor's office, and the creation of special judiciary framework to prosecute perpetrators of human rights violations.
Deputizing the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, the Gambia's new Minister of Information, Lamin Queen Jammeh, said the Gambia government has an ambitious plan to entrench rule of law, building strong institutions and other good laws that promote good governance.
The judiciary remains challenged by years of executive control under former President Jammeh and urgently needs to regain its independence, integrity, and trust from the population.
In marking the launch of the program, there was stakeholders' dialogue on improving ethical reporting in the media, led by media professionals drawn from different media houses and academia. The event was meant to discuss way forward to address ethical issues in the media. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
Following the award of a grant to the UTG by an American university to promote the study of forensic entomology and its application in solving crimes, the University of the Gambia, in its Edward Francis Small lecture series, on Wednesday hosted a public lecture on the topic forensic entomology using insects to solve crimes. Mahmoud Lamin Choi has the details.
The University of the Gambia is hosting a forensic expert to study and explore scientific methods of investigating crimes, which involves examining insects for laboratory analysis to unravel mysteries of crimes. Dr. Dennis Maria Gemelaro, an assistant professor from Keene University, New Jersey, USA, is giving a public lecture to UTG students and members of the security forces on forensic entomology.
There is an issue where there's a bug, and a lawyer, that's a case for forensic entomology. The reason that is important is, once again, because this laboratory could benefit from other areas of forensic entomology as well.
This lecture is part of a $13,000 project grant, which among its target is to establish a forensic entomology laboratory at the UTG to offer support during investigations, conduct, promote and provide professional and academic training on forensic entomology. Dr. Mohamed Lamen Sanyang is the UTG's Director of Research and Consultancy.
And now science is coming up with solutions. That is why we're emphasizing research. Universities are meant not only for teaching, but to promote research and innovation. And through research, we can solve our problems, because you can't solve a problem that you don't know of.
The Vice-Chancellor of the University of the Gambia, Professor Herbert Robinson, asserts the UTG's strong commitment to the promotion and application of research to offer solutions to solve crimes.
We are very, very interested in supporting the application of research to facilitate real-world solutions, particular crime. I think you mentioned about the issue of crime and the incident of crime. It's a very serious problem in many, many African countries. And if we cannot tackle it, then we will not live in peace.
Part of the project is to train 20 participants in forensic entomology, including 10 UTG students, 6 of whom are police officers, 5 nominated police officers, 3 officers from the State Intelligence Services, and 2 from the Gambia Armed Forces. Here is Professor Ado Baba Ahmed of the UTG's Biology Department.
Forensic analysis of evidence is still conducted outside Gambia whenever the need arises. To address these shortcomings, awarded by the Humanitarian Rights Resource Center of the American Academy of Forensic Science, to the duo of Dr. Dinese Gemilaro sitting beside me, and my humble self.
The chair of the University of the Gambia's Governing Council, Mohamed Pindur, finds forensic entomology as an exciting area the Governing Council can support. Forensic entomology deals with the application of insects to solve crimes, relying on a scientific fact that shortly after death, insects colonize dead bodies. By studying those insect groups in a laboratory, forensic scientists can estimate the minimum post-mortem interval, assess potential movement of the corpse, and acquire the manner and cause of death. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, QTV News.
We will now go for a commercial break, and when we return, we still have some more local, international, and sports news stories for you. Just stay tuned.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with, and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
For 2022 season of Reju remarkable variety of locally sourced products by young innovative Gambian entrepreneurs in fashion, accessories, handicraft, health and beauty, and agro-processed and local foods. To see innovative and creativity at work, visit the Gambia's Goods Market every first Saturday of every month at the GT Bank Senegambia branch premises, starting from April 2022 to August 2022 from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. to own any number of quality and standard products at reasonable prices. This year's monthly market will highlight an additional display of skills and raw talent, providing entertainment, and demonstrative art, featuring cultural and modern dances, drumming, hairdressing, photography display, as well as live mind-blowing paintings. We are proud of this entrepreneurship revolution in the Gambia. This is powered by the Gambia Youth Chamber of Commerce and the Youth Empowerment Project. Yep.
Welcome back, and thank you very much if you're just joining us. This is QTV News. A team of Spanish surgeons were at the Canifing General Hospital for a week-long free surgery on various skin conditions. The team, in collaboration with Gambian surgeons, are expected to operate on 50 patients. Loli M. Camera was at the hospital, and she now reports.
The team is in the country with support by Cultivant Vida, a non-profit association in Spain. The surgeons will be operating on people with skin and facial tumors, extensive scars because of burns or other injuries, hernia and hydroceles or swelling in the scrotum. Basiru Drame, the CEO of the Canifing General Hospital, says helping people needing surgical interventions will minimize the queue of patients waiting to be operated on at the hospital. He explains some of the preparations made prior to the event.
Our team on the ground actually did some mobilization in terms of visiting people before their arrival. So when they came on Saturday, on Sunday, they sat with those people, they reviewed the cases together. Those who are actually fit for the operation, they register them. Those who are not actually fit, they will actually they get an appointment. But nonetheless, people are still coming, and that now by the end of the day, that's the 5 days, we will definitely going to know how many people are going to be operated.
Omar Sise, nurse anesthetician at the Canifing General Hospital Operating Theatre, says the whole process is going smoothly.
The process is actually going on smoothly now because after us recruiting the patients, they came and then assess the patients, and then the ones that they feel they could operate, we are prepared, and then we started yesterday. Yesterday we had about 8 surgeries. And this morning we are continuing, and then it is working smoothly for now. We do not have any complicated cases. Everything is going on smoothly. Yeah, and also we are also collaborating with them and then learning, and then we are hoping that it will be a successful mission, and then the collaboration will of course continue.
CEO Drame and Usman Sise call on Gambians with skin conditions needing surgery to contact the hospital. Alejandro Diaz-Mas, a doctor with the Spanish team, said this is not their first visit to the Gambia to give humanitarian support.
We have been before in Brikama doing also this kind of surgeries, and luckily we were lucky enough this year to be able to go to a bigger center where we can do maybe more operations, we can get more patients and try to target those people who really have difficulties. It takes a little bit of time to get used to organizing everything. We have to come here, screen patients that need the surgery or that we can help, that it makes sense to help. Then we have to organize everything in the ORs, try to get as high standards as possible, working with local authorities as well with the local workers of this place. The most difficult part, I must say, is the beginning of the day where the patients come and we need them to have certain research papers or lab works, and they are not, unfortunately it takes a little bit of time, but once the wheel is spinning, then it goes quite smoothly.
Amadou Sidibe, a patient, had this to say.
I have had this sickness for over 2 years. So when I heard about the Spanish doctors, I decided to come to the hospital and seek for help. And thank God, things are not difficult. I met a nurse who helped me to register, and here I am going for the surgery. May Allah make it easy and successful.
Authorities of the Canifing General Hospital thank the Spanish surgical team for the free surgery and call on other philanthropists to come forward. For QTV News, Lolly M. Camera.
As part of Insurance Awareness Week campaign, the Insurance Association of the Gambia, IAG, on Thursday held a stakeholders dialogue to further increase the public understanding of insurance and insurance policies. Omar P. Jallo has the rest of that story.
The stakeholders seminar on the theme
The Future of Insurance in the Gambia, Perspective of the Regulators, Brokers and Insurers, is part of the IAG's week-long campaign to increase public awareness about the progress and benefits of the Gambia insurance industry and to discuss the association's achievements and challenges. Makaire Bajan, the president of the Insurance Association of the Gambia, said the insurance industry in the Gambia continue to record low penetration with key challenges such as the fast pace of digitalization and general irregularities of the world. However, he stressed that insurers need to be able to continue delivering valuable products and services that help their customers to lead secure and prosperous life.
The insurance industry must use new technologies to redefine and establish a roadmap to the future. A digital transformation helps change business models and the customer experience to better benefit policyholders in their daily lives. Digitalization is already reshaping the way insurers innovate, distribute, underwrite, compete, and interact with their customers.
Kausuke Dabo, the CEO of Appropriate Insurance Solutions, reveals that the future of insurance industry in the Gambia depends largely on how effective they can act in a concerted manner to deal with the challenges they are facing, including the insurers' inability to meet their obligations, especially under motor insurance contracts, could be properly addressed, as that has largely been the main source of their poor image.
The low insurance awareness still persists, characterized by a poor image of the industry, despite several efforts in raising awareness both at national, regional, and international level. We have the WICA, we have the AIO, we have the local forum, trying to sensitize the public.
Pa Aliu Silla, the Commissioner of Insurance, said the Central Bank of the Gambia has made significant progress in enacting new laws that will hopefully put the insurance industry on a par with best practice in the sub-region and beyond.
It is estimated that the digitalization has the capacity to increase premium premium collection by 30%. Right now, it is at 1%. That's the general estimate. It has studies have estimated that it has the potential to 30%, and all the attendant advantages related to digitalization. So big data, analysis of big data, fast processing of claims and underwriting, accuracy, all these things are challenges.
The stakeholder seminar brought together participants, including those from outside the insurance industry, to discuss the potential benefits of reforming the industry so it can play a central position in the economic development of the Gambia. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
Well, the end of that report by Omar P. Jallo takes us to international news. In international news, the Gambian delegation at the global platform GP 2022 in Bali, Indonesia, held a meeting with the regional director of the United Nations Disaster Risk Reduction for Africa. As Jenaba Sanko reports from there, the mayor of Banjul, Rohim Malik Low, and the ambassador of the Gambia to the United Nations office in Geneva, Professor Mohamed M.O. Carr, attended the meeting.
The Global Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction is the main global forum to assess and discuss progress on the implementation of the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction. The meeting provided an opportunity for the United Nations Disaster Risk Reduction Regional Director for Africa and the Gambian delegation to exchange progress information, areas for further development, and funding opportunities. The United Nations Disaster Risk Reduction has supported the Gambia to implement various key activities, one of the most recent being the risk profiling. Risk profiles provides a comprehensive view of hazards, risks and uncertainties for floods and droughts in a changing climate. Professor Mohamed Emoka, the ambassador of the Gambia to the United Nations office in Geneva, stresses the need for UNDRR to help the Gambia get the right data infrastructure.
Early warning systems are driven by quality data
that analytics are applied to them to enable prediction, forecasting for mitigation. So data is important, but more importantly, what we need in the country is a data infrastructure that we can use to propel platforms and services that permeate across the ecosystem of disaster.
Rohim Malik Lowe, the mayor of Banjul, used the opportunity to call for more support for councils.
So if we talk about local government or if we talk about disaster, who are the people that suffers? Indeed, it's the community. So this is why I put emphasis to say that bring the funding, bring capacity building to local government.
Studies show that majority of cities with large areas at or under sea level would be inundated under a 1 meter sea level rise due to their low-lying nature. Mayor Lowe delved into how her council is working on tackling risks.
In collaboration with NDMA, we are doing a lot. Everybody knows that Banjul is on the sea level. So if you look at the EU funding, the coconuts that we are planting at this beach side is there to help and to complement what the government is doing and to help mitigate erosion in Banjul.
We engaged the regional director of the United Nations Disaster Risk Reduction for Africa, Amjad Abashar, and this is his perception on the work of the Gambia after the meeting.
I think the impression that I got is that of a very committed country to disaster risk reduction, a country that has already its ideas and its plans, to be honest, and knows what it really wants to do with disaster risk reduction.
Bilateral meetings as such are ways in which the Global Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction showcases the need for international solidarity as well as cooperation to enable means of tackling risk drivers both locally and globally. Now, Gambians back home at this point in time are more concerned about the actions that will be derived from meetings as such. When is that going to be? I am not sure. Reporting for QTV News from Bali, Indonesia, I am Jenna Basonko.
Well, that report by Jenna Basonko ends our QTV News tonight. Join us tomorrow and have a pleasant night. Bye.